is the person that's named in this release Danny Cooke?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And can you recount some of the specific incidents that you guys have had issues with her in the past?
Sure. So, you know, we've been going through this the last couple of months, and especially in the last, I would say within the last 30 days, there's been escalating concerns, specifically around some of the interactions that Ms. Cooke has had inside the doors of our hospital. And I've received a lot of additional requests and details of instances from my team members that are concerning. And so specifically, there have been multiple occasions where Ms. Cooke has been inside the doors of our hospital, on our hospital units or in our emergency department, visiting or with patients and families of which are not family members of hers, right, where the encounters have become distracting and intrusive into the patient care and treatment plan of our patients. And through these interactions on multiple occasions, our team members have felt concerned, and they've become fearful of her interactions on the unit. And I've received multiple communications and emails from my team asking them how they should address the situation. And it's been growing and intensively profound to me that the team here believes that her interactions and her presence here inside the hospital has become a distraction and a safety concern for the care of our patients, as well as it's my job to ensure that I'm creating a safe work environment for our team, a safe and secure work environment for our team. So through her interactions, we've had at least one patient request that she leave and not be involved in the care any longer or the discussions any longer, and multiple accounts from my team in regards to being concerned about the distractions of her presence in the building and what it's causing in regards to the safety and security of our care plans for our patients.
Gotcha. What does this mean for Danny? What can't she do anymore? You know, is she not allowed inside the hospital? Can she still be outside protesting too as well? You know, what does this mean essentially, kind of this ban for her?
Sure. This no-trespass order is a no-trespass order that includes Holston Valley Medical Center and all the property that is owned by Holston Valley. The order would be just that in regards to her not being able to access our property or the facilities, with the exception, of course, of some reasonable terms. If for the fact that she needs to access care herself, of course, we are here to provide that care for her. If she needs to be involved in the treatment or the care plan or the discussions of a family member, a parent, a child, a grandchild, of course that is very reasonable. And we want to be reasonable in regards to her immediate family members and the care that they may need to seek, and we will certainly honor that. Outside of those reasons, she is not allowed to be on our property here. Now, with that said, we do not want to in any way stand in the way of a right to protest, a right to voice opinions. As you know, the protest has been going on for a couple of months down in front of our hospital. This in no way currently will impact their ability, of course, to protest there on city property. This action is taken against the one individual and is pretty clear in regards to what those expectations are.
Gotcha. So just to clarify, those protesters can be there. Can Danny still be there protesting, or is she also supposed to be removed from that situation?
No, as long as Ms. Cooke is on city property, property that is not owned by us at Holston Valley, then she can continue her protesting efforts as long as it's not on our property.
Gotcha. as of now, I'd say.
Yes, yes. Ms. Cooke has been informed.
Oh, when was she informed around?
Just after 10 a.m. this morning,
Okay.
we delivered the notice.
What are there any repercussions or anything if she does come back on, hospital property for other than the reasons, where she's getting medical help or anything like that? Are there any, repercussions for her? What happens?
Yeah. So obviously, if she was to inquire of us and make that inquiry of us, we would direct her, of course, back to her attorney. But in regards to the actions that would be taken if she does present on the property outside of the care of herself or her family, then we would take appropriate action that would be taken in any no trespass order, and we would notify the city police department and ask that they help us take appropriate action.
Gotcha. Would that be essentially escorting her out of the hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Have there been any other issues with other protesters in the past?
So I would say for the most part, the protesters have been, for the most part, respectful and kind of, I would say, within the guardrails of a peaceful protest for the most part. We have had concerns around traffic and around the interference that it could cause in the front of our hospital. It's a busy intersection. And so we've had those concerns, and we've voiced those concerns, of course, to the appropriate city officials. I think at first, honestly, Blake, I think that the team here within the hospital back in early May, 2 months ago, I think for the most part, the team kind of understood and sort of embraced the fact that they had a right to voice their opinions, and for the most part, and I've shared with our team and cascaded to our team that I'm also supportive of their right to a peaceful protest. However, in a message I sent to my team about 30 days ago, I did say that if it reaches a point where I feel like the interaction of anyone or the protest becomes harmful to our patients or to our team, then we would reconsider actions taken. I think our team initially felt as if the protesters were supporting the efforts that we have here every day to care for our patients and provide good access to care. However, I would say currently now, 2 months into this, unfortunately, many of our team members feel as if the protest is having a negative impact on our hospital, on our community, on our ability to provide a safe and caring, inviting environment in for our patients and families. And it's going to be an ongoing concern and something we have to consider.
Gotcha. And just another point of clarification, when she was coming in and dealing with these patients and everything like that, was she just walking in and finding people or just to kind of express her viewpoints just unannounced, or how did that work?
Well, so to answer your question, the interactions inside the facilities with her and our patients or families, often transparently, I think could have been either her being approached by individuals coming into the facility, or the team out front of the hospital approaching those patients and or those families. So in most circumstances, transparently, I think she had permission or had been invited into the facility. However, there are strong guidelines and parameters in regards to the depth of the participation in the care plan of the patients that we have to be sensitive to and have to ensure that policy of really interference with patient care becomes a high standard in our organizations, and we take that seriously. So it's reached a point where we felt as if we needed to take action.
Do you think there's any way this can all be resolved with whether it's with Danny Cooke herself or just maybe all the protesters in general? Like, is there a way both sides could come together, you think, and kind of resolve this issue?
So, I think there's always a way to resolve an issue. Again, I think the reason behind the protest, I understand the reason behind the protest. It's the actions that have been taken and the approach that has been taken that has recently created significant concern to me. I think the reality is of where we are today. These service changes are going to take place. And I would love to see the energy that has gone into this protest be utilized into positive momentum in moving our organization forward. Because many of the services, most of the services that we offer today are going to stay here and remain here. The changes are needed to sustain those services. And I would love to see the energy that is being utilized, which is creating a negative effect on our hospital and on their hospital. Love to see that energy be channeled towards how do we make this positive for our future? Because the majority of the patients we serve today, 95+% of the patients we serve today, we're going to continue to serve throughout the year, the next years, the next decade. So I'd love to see us come together and find a way in a more positive way to address this.
Do you guys think this could all go away if maybe you had to sit down with Danny and some of the protesters and just to hear out, where they're coming from a little bit?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. Mm-hmm. And so to answer that question, I have sat down with many that have been involved within the initial group protest. Mm-hmm. I have sat down with many that I felt like were willing to listen and, to your earlier point, make positive momentum in the right direction. I have done that. There are some, however, that I don't feel that interaction would be beneficial. And I don't think our information and what we'd be willing to share with them would be heard from their end. The ones that have expressed interest in sitting down and listening and understanding and being able to have an open mind in regards to where we're headed for the future here, I've had many of those conversations. In fact, I have some planned for next week. But that conversation, I don't think would be beneficial with Ms. Cooke. I'm not sure she's demonstrated the ability to have an open mind in regards to our future state and the why behind some of these changes, and embrace the future state of healthcare here in our community, which is going to look much like it does today. So many of those conversations we've had, many I think would not be productive with some individuals not willing to listen.
Gotcha. Is there anything else you'd like to add about this whole situation?
Well, I think overarching, it's unfortunate that, we're to this point. We always like to approach concerns or, disagreements in the most positive way possible. And I think personally, for Ms. Cooke, I think her intentions started out with nothing but the best interest of the hospital and the community in mind. Unfortunately, I think the approach that she has taken has created a disruptive environment for this team. And when it reached that point, and I heard feedback from many team members inside this organization, many emails that I've received, we felt like it was time to take action and to advocate for them. And we are our patients' advocates. That's our role. Our nurses, our physicians, we advocate every day. And we do not need Danny Cooke advocating for our patients. We are their advocates.